Right. Answering quickly for anyone that doesn't want to hang around, does patch 1.06 fix or help anything with VR? And I can say sitting here, no, it does not. Just to save anyone any time that doesn't want to hang around and listen to me rant, because I'm going to rant for a bit. No, it feels markedly worse. Even sitting here, there are a lot of problems. So, I'll say now, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the fact that I jumped through straight away to tell you, so you didn't have to bother hanging around. I respect people's time, and that's just how it is. So, I appreciate it. To explain a bit more then, I had someone in one of my earlier videos talking about VR stuff mention if, whenever they were talking, if they felt that the camera moved, it was like oversensitive to them talking. I didn't get that before. I get it now. I have it right now. Like, this is not the way before. Things feel so much worse moving your head around inside the menu system, inside the garage. I don't know what is wrong. I did a lot of Paul Ricard last week ahead of the weekend event. I was trying to get my times down. I didn't bother doing the weekend event, but I did a lot of Paul Ricard. I did a lot of driving. So this has only come on with this patch. And just sitting here and the way the world is moving around me and the way like there's like this like judder. It's not a dead zone, but it's like there's like this. It feels even worse. It feels even worse from what I described before about the lack of one-to-one movement where it just feels different. And again, I have checked performance. I have checked performance with actual millisecond performance graphs, and even greater than that, for to see if there was any micro stuttering whatsoever that could be causing this mismatch or any of that. I'm having to close my eyes now because it's actually making me feel ill, which is, as someone who can sit and drive in Automobilista Dirt Rally, set of course the Competizione, sit in any other VR game for hours on end without feeling anything wrong with me. This is horrendous, just sitting here and talking. This menu system feels fucking awful, and if it's a local problem with me, I doubt it considering the amount of people that have talked about it, but I would love to talk to someone from Codemasters that, if it is 100% like this across everybody's VR stuff, what they were thinking with this, because this just feels awful. On the track is different, we'll get on to that in a second. But it's dreadful sitting here. It really is. I don't know what has changed. I can barely even look at it. It makes my eyes feel a bit blurry just because it's not natural at all. And again, it is not performance. I'm a lock 90. There are no frame drops not whatsoever. There is no micro stutter. There's no millisecond micro stutter. The video, in the end, might have some stutter, but that's from me having to record it through action using a window capture of the Steam VR mirror just because Codemasters display mirror looks awful as well. They're the only fucking company that released stuff like that. They did the exact same thing with Dirt Rally, where the eye looks all wonky, where the view, where they haven't fixed the viewpoint for display capture. So any stutters through the mirror, I guarantee 100%, I am not lying whenever I say I've got a smooth 90 FPS right now. And it is awful. Someone said in the last video they could see that the world moving around me when I'm in the mirror, when I'm in the menu, when the menu moves with me. This feels markedly worse than that. So much worse. Let's get out onto the track. So whenever you're out here, as you're loading in, you get the menu movement until the light counts down to about 3. So if you go from the garage straight out, you get that weird movement inside the car until it fixes itself. I'll talk in a second about that. Let's just round to the main thing, because I've got an amateur opinion on where that might be and what that might be and what might be going on, or like where it feels like it's going on. So I could be wrong, but anyway. It feels like... So because when you're in the garage, you've got your pit lane close to you, and you have to look at the menus in front of you and stuff, so like your focus point is a lot closer up. I'm wondering if it like hooks into because you're in a menu as well. I'm wondering if it hooks into that like near focus point and changes the world based on that. Like it's almost like a depth of field thing, but based on movement. I had someone in the previous video comment about how he was a developer and he thought it was something to do with eye tracking and different things. So I'm wondering if that could be part of that. So like whenever you're out on the track, your focus point is based on whatever like the furthest distance is. So like because we're in the main straight, things don't move as close to you. But I guess maybe you're not as close to things, so like it's more exaggerated with things up close. So it could be the same thing all the time. I don't know. This is like what I'm trying to think of as I'm looking through it. But like even looking up and down on the track, just the way that like the barriers to the side and all that move, it could be like a fisheye, not even a fisheye thing, but just a general field of view thing, and the way that the eye is just the camera is designed to like go to your eye, and it's just like not 100% even for you know, like oval shape or round the shape and all that. I don't think that's exactly what's going on because the tires don't change, but because the tires are all the same distance from you, maybe that's part of why. So it could be like a mixture of distance and field of view. It could be a million different things. These are only my speculations as an amateur person who has been into VR for 7 years, has never seen anything like this ever, and is just very frustrated. So yeah, excuse my rant. I already gave my answer straight away. I don't want people to hang around for the rant, but I am going to rant about it because I'm very annoyed about it. But I've done a lot of racing over the last few days in the set of Corsa Competizione, and that game is much maligned for obvious reasons with general performance, based on especially CPU performance if you're racing against AI offline. But like, this just sucks, and I can see the mountains in the distance move with my head movement, which is just feels so wrong and broken. It's like I'm trying to. It's like parallax scrolling on like an old 16-bit console, and if you were like put into a VR thing and it moves with your head movement and all that, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel like a real world thing at all, and like I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy the movement in this game. I really enjoy like a lot of the good times with it. But I wanted to do so much more with it. But between the awkwardness of the way it has to be captured and these issues, I just don't want to do like any VR stuff. I plan to like do like online races and because of the way the capture looks, because you can't get a good looking capture even compared to other racing VR games, or even then it's still not great, but still you can't get a great looking capture because of how bad it can end up looking through the mirror. I wanted to do like say record my feed, my VR feed, and put it in the bottom corner of the screen, and then do like a broadcast style replay as the main feed, but like have the like a picture in picture thing going. But like I don't want to do that now because I just don't want to bother doing a lot of effort to like enjoy this game publicly on here. I'd rather do that with like a set of Corsa or Automobilista. I want to change up my Automobilista career stuff and all that, but like just this game just feels so wrong. And the textures feel muddier in the ground now at a shorter distance. It's as if the anisotropic filtering isn't working properly. I don't know if that was always the case, and I'm just like, I notice it less now, or I notice it more now compared to like playing other VR stuff again. But like things feel so muddy until you're like right up close to them compared to where it was. So I don't know what they did. On track VR feels about the same, if not worse. Slightly. I honestly think there is a bit more exaggerated head movement at certain points, but compared to where we are. But the way the eyes feel in the garage and in those menus while sitting in the car whenever it puts you into the VR helmet for the first time, awful, a terrible experience, and I'm just not happy. I'm not happy. And then I've got other issues with the game too that like, you know, like it seems to, I mean, it could be a Thrustmaster issue, but my T500 RS Integral F1 keeps resetting to 360 only after opening and closing this game. I updated it to the latest firmware that was suggested and all that, and but like it keeps getting stuck at 360 whenever I'll open like any other racing game. Only after playing this. I could play a million other racing games and I have no issues. But then whenever I open this, then I have to either like unplug my wheel, replug it in, or restart my computer completely while setting the driver level rotation back to 1080. And there's just so much messing around with this game that goes into it, and I can't like the fact that you can't even launch it straight into Steam VR because at least using Origin, it's probably different. It probably opens like normal on the if you've got the Steam version, but like I've got the EA Play Pro subscription, so I'm not going to pay separate for a game that I can already access, especially whenever I don't really want it now, despite enjoying it so much just because of all these issues. But like, I haven't checked to see if the Windows issue either, if it crashes again whenever you like change the resolution from before. So I don't know whether to fix that, because I don't really want to have to faff about with config files if it still crashes after you change it from 720p. Because why would that be a thing anyway? Why is there so much in this game that is fundamentally flawed with the VR system compared to literally every other game? Literally every other game. There are issues here and there. Hitman's awkward at times, especially through the Epic Store, but like it's nothing like this. It's absolutely nothing like this. I remember it's, both Hitman and Star Wars Squadrons have had issues because I'm connected to a HDR display through my PC. Had issues where it would try and put HDR to your headset and all that, and it wouldn't like automatically turn that off. All that is fiddly annoying bullshit. This is fiddly annoying bullshit that has no real workaround, because it's actually just a fundamentally broken game in my opinion underneath, and the VR implementation sucks, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it now. I'm done. If any of you stuck with the rant, appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you feel the same. If you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. If you have your own opinions on it. If it's working fine for you, I'd really love to hear your CPU, GPU, RAM, and headset makeup. Because, again, I've checked performance and all that, and my performance is fine. Literally every other game is fine. So, why am I having issues now with this? With my setup and all, you know? Yeah, like moving left and right, the way the barriers move, it's just not natural. There's just something wrong. There's something wrong, and it feels worse. Like I can definitely say it feels worse now. Again, that could be because I've played a lot of Competizione, so I'm used to like a proper VR implementation for head movement again, and I'm really used to it. I've played it enough in a row, like for 5 days in a row, where, you know, and I can play these games for like 4 or 5 hours at a time in the evenings or whatever, where it doesn't, like, it just does not affect me. It just feels like putting on a racing helmet and then stepping out again, because like VR just does not affect me. But this does affect me, so that says there's something wrong. There is something wrong here, and I'm done. Yeah, would really appreciate a like and subscribe. I'm enjoying the growth in the channel. I'm enjoying the further interaction. I sometimes I can't reply to comments quickly because I'm just not around my YouTube. So, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like the best at replying quickly if you've got any questions, but I will always try and get back to you if there's anything I can help you with, or, you know, if you've got like an interesting question or an interesting viewpoint or whatever. It's always it's cool to have this interaction and all that. So yeah, appreciate it. Have a good day, and again, if you've any better experiences with F1, I'd love to hear it, because I'd love to get this fixed up, because it feels, you know, again, the track action I think feels really decent, and there is a game here. It's just, you know, VR is flawed, and that sucks massively. Yeah, right, yeah. Again, shilling myself, like and subscribe, please. That's what we got to do on YouTube these days, because certainly since I became added a bit more of the clickbaity titles and the like and subscribe talk, like, as well, like, you know, like, again, like at the start of this video, I try to answer it quickly so I don't waste people's time, but the extra content is there if it's interesting to anyone, so likes and subscribes are really appreciated. So yeah, have a good day.